This morning, I was recording sorry about that. This morning, my friend Gil came over and he brought some pieces that he found along the Saginaw River today to show me, which ended up in my collection, I might add. But he suggested I go down to the river where he was, and so I hopped on my bike. I felt really good. My back was doing great today, so I hopped on my bike and I headed down to the Saginaw River. And while I didn't find a whole lot of tremendously interesting things, I did find a few pieces of interest, and it was a beautiful day for late November here in Saginaw. It was up in the high 60s, and so it was a great day to be out on the bike. I'll show you one piece that I got from Gil that I think is particularly cool. Excuse me. This bottle right here. Now, this predates 1860. It was totally hand blown into probably a wooden mold. No seam lines at all. I probably will end up cleaning it up, but I have a tendency to leave bottles the way I find them if they're not too bad. And that really is a very nice specimen that I'm really very, very happy to have gotten for my collection. And I got it for a song because he is a real pill. He'll get the drift of that one. So, with that said, I'm going to go down or back upstairs to my computer. I'm going to edit all the footage together. Gil at my house this morning, and then me down at the river amongst the gaggle of geese, and see what we have going. Hey, this was unplanned. It's great to be back with you. Love you all. Stay healthy, stay well, and see you back in just a moment. God bless.
You know, that's in here. Big bottle.
Does it got any embossing on it?
Yeah, the one does. It's a picture. Castoria.
Oh yeah, Fletcher's.
Mrs. Fletcher's.
Oh, it's not Fletcher's?
Nope, no, it's before. It's earlier than the Fletcher bottles. You know, it's a hand spun top on it, so it's before 05.
Oh, cool.
They're harder to find than the picture, the Dr. Fletcher's. Those are really common.
Yeah.
But at the boat docks, all the digging I've done, I did get about a dozen of those babies. It's got a good glue to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And then this piece here was made on top.
Oh yeah,
that's
for
a beauty. Yeah, that's a nice
jar.
piece.
Yeah,
that's pretty ancient. That's about in the 1890 area, something like that. Maybe before 1890 even yet. You know, it's
I would think. Yeah.
Way the dome shape down is different. Shit. Then this handle here. This is a bastard, man. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, cool. That is a nice one. Yeah. Very nice.
Piece of my hair hanging off of it. Not too shabby, but this is the nicest one.
Probably Victorian?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I go 1880 in that area, you know, give or take, right? And then this is the one that had just a little bit showing, and I started with the stick going around it, thinking bigger and bigger. No embossing on it, but it's got a beautiful color.
Oh, yeah, I love that style bottle.
It's got like a light green to it. It's
yeah.
Pretty color. I think the inside will clean up nicely because I was just rubbing my finger in there and it was coming off, you know what I'm saying?
You know, most people don't collect, for some reason, these, but I love this style bottle.
I think it's a food jar, right?
Condiment or something. No, it wouldn't be condiment. But
no, I think they call them food jars.
That's nice.
Maybe pickles or something in them, you know, with the mouth being wide enough to put your fork in there and pull pickles out or whatever.
Right. So is that it?
That's it, sir. That's the 4 pieces, huh?
How much?
Well, as soon as we're off air, I'll see what you say. As soon as we're off air. Oh, it's a windy day coming from the south. It's so warm.
Okay, I'm on my way. Figured I'd take a few pictures going down. It's kind of a steep hill for me on the bike, but I got decent brakes, so hopefully I won't go careening down into the road and oncoming traffic. It's Hamilton Road coming up here. It is such a gorgeous day for late November. It's got to be in the mid-60s at least right now. So anyways, after Gil brought that stuff over that I obtained from him for my collection, he told me there's other stuff still laying there that might interest me, and so that's where I'm headed right now to find out. West side of Saginaw, Old Town. Great place to be, especially if you love history. It's a geese. What is it, a gaggle of geese? I think this is where Gil met. There's a lot of brick and stuff laying here. I don't see necessarily where he was talking about there being metal and stuff lying. This doesn't look to me like real encouraging right here. So far, for me, I mean. Gil has a way about him with finding something. This looks encouraging from an Indian standpoint. So I'm going to take this home with me and clean this top off and see if that's been used for grinding. Might have been. We'll see. But I'd like to find more where Gil was talking about. So let's start over here. Another little footprints down here on the sand. It's really cool. And right now, there's odds and ends, bits and pieces. This looks like a rock. I thought at first it was a fossil of some sort. Now here, it's probably part of an old mop. Don't know if that's worth taking. I don't know if could you see that or not. I don't know if that's worth taking. But as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. And I haven't been out a whole lot this year. So, guess I'll take what I can get. And I haven't been out a whole lot because how bad my back has been. But today is pretty good. And the bike is always easier for me to go on as long as there's not a lot of wind. And I'm going to shut this off for a minute and I'm going to move up here a little bit further because I think this is not exactly the spot that Gil was talking about. Now this is the only other area I can think of that he would have been talking about. And I don't see where this has collapsed like he was talking about. Because he said the bank had collapsed in, or out I should say, and I'm just not seeing it here. So it almost had to be back there where I was. So we'll go back and take a little longer look there shortly. Because this has all been filled in with rock at one time or another. And I'm just not seeing what Gil was talking about. But I'm going to go back. We'll check that other area out. Pretty day on the river. All those geese are out there and the seagulls. Just having a good old time today, taking advantage of this beautiful weather there. So I'll turn this off and go give Gil a call and see what he Well, according to Gil, this is the right area. And he said there was a lot of metal pieces actually in the water. But I'm not seeing them. There's one big piece. See if you can find out what this was. I don't know. Oh, that's a big one. I don't have a clue what that might be. But here is a base of a crock, part of the rim. I do use those, so I'm probably going to take that. But I'm seeing a lot of, see this flat tile, I'll probably take that too, but I'm not sure what that would have been necessarily used for. There's a lot of, watch me take a dive. I hope not. Don't need to do that. But here's another piece of a, well, that water's cold. Let me get something I can reach that with. Alright. It's another piece of a crock. And then I do see a lot of it out there in the water. Now, he's right. I won't tell him that. No, I will. Another rim piece. That'll go home with me. An algae on the rocks there. Looks so cool. Just gently swaying in the water. You know. Okay. Let's see what else. Maybe is here. It's an electrical fixture. Now I did see a piece of metal laying here. Looking at that stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. Again, don't know what that would be. Might take it. I don't know. You know, as I was shooting this, getting ready to leave the house, I noticed, you know, so many different cameras. Oh, here's part of a little shovel or spade. I was noticing though that this camera makes my face look so long, and I don't understand that. But I don't know. Anyways, my face, I'm sure you can tell, isn't the greatest, but it's not that long. But it's another piece of the base. I'll take that and see if it fits with that other one. Pottery. Might be another piece here. Nope, that's tile, green tile. A lot of green tile. Alright, I'm going to shut this off in a minute, have a cigarette, and then do a little more looking before I head on back home. And we'll examine the pieces more carefully, either here on the bank or when I get home. But I'll be back with you momentito. I'm finding a few more things. This is fossil bearing. I want to break that apart when I get home. This one also is chert and has fossils in it. So let's give that a closer look at home. I don't want to get that piled on too much there, but there is a couple more pieces of broken pottery, a rim. I want to show you something shortly. And I think you can see through the water good enough to tell where that drops off. If it was a nice day and you could walk in there where it drops off like that, I think you'd be astounded. I would be astounded. Here's a piece of coal from the lumbering days, coal mining days. So they mined coal here in the Saginaw, or here in Saginaw. This is probably another fossil bearing rock where that's, no, I think that's cement. Probably from Granny's cement pond. Maybe not. Well, it's my attempt at humor. We're gonna walk up here a little way. Sorry about the wind, folks. That is really strong, and I know it's hard to probably hear me. But we're looking right in the water along the bank here. See if there's anything there that Gil left for me or missed. But he don't miss much, I tell you. That guy is really good at finding the stuff. I used to be. I had people who would go on artifact and relic hunts with me, and they would tell me, man, it looks like the stuff just comes to you. And a lot of times it seemed that way, that because wherever I would dig, it's like I internally knew where to look. Here's part of a plate. Is there any design on it? The reason I take stuff like that home is, you'll see it in future videos, and you may have seen it in some of my other ones, is that I actually make things out of them. Here's another piece of a plate. This is decoration on the rim, so that'll clean up probably nicely. Some Saginaw bricks. I think it's a Saginaw one there, and I'm not sure where that other one is from. I've gotten a lot of really cool old bricks from here. There's something something richly. Okay, could there be anything underneath this? Let's take a look and see. Whoa, I almost went in. Almost went in there. Wouldn't be too cool. I don't see anything under there. No, don't see anything under there. What's this? Is this a fossil? No, it looks like a shell impression, but I think it's just where a rock popped out of it. But might as well go all the way down here, huh? It's not a real long walk. My back is starting to hurt. So maybe that's take it home and show it to Gil later, because he knows about that kind of stuff. He knows something about it. You know, if it was any importance on it, there's authentic 33, established 1984. Whatever that means. I'll Google it. I'll Google it. But here, along the bank of the river, at one time it appears that they would throw a lot of their trash. Maybe use it to build up, you know, the area, which was pretty swampy here at one time, back when us evil white people first came into the picture here. But it wasn't usable land. Here's the top of an old bottle. Probably take that one with me too. I don't know probably about it. I did. Shoved it in my pocket. Look at all the tracks here from the geese and seagulls. I think it's so cool. Future fossils. Future fossils. That's what they be. Yep. But I don't think I'm going to find a whole lot more here today. I did find, as I showed you a few minutes ago, a little small shovel, old shovel, and that's something new. But I can still mess around over there a little bit in the dirt. And you know what? I think I'm going to grab that. It is right here. And let's just see. Let me just move some of this around and see if I can see anything. Oh man, this is hard stuff. It looks like a piece of coal. Probably a big piece of coal. But it is in there. Probably worth trying to dig that one away and sand it. Just a piece of wood. I could make a joke about that, but I won't, since this is a family channel. But it's probably here. I'm not going to do much of this here because I told Gil that I wouldn't. I kind of feel like if somebody makes a find and I go over into it, that I'm, you know, violating a trust. But he said he didn't care. And if you'll notice here, see, here's sand layer, clay layer. This is where probably, if there is anything, it would be in here. But I don't see, you know, if you could dig deep or back further, there probably would be a lot more to be found here. Well, there's no probably about it, there would be. You know what that is? Let's see. I don't know. Let me switch hands to this. See if I can get under that and see what it is. Okay, it's just a piece of brick or what have you. And that's about all I'm seeing here. But you know what? For a late November day, kind of pleasant to be out and to be able to get out with all the back problems I've had. So, my friends, that's about it for today. As I mentioned in one of my posts, I'm going to be doing in December some live feeds or streams. I hope that y'all will be able to join me for those, and then maybe next summer, God willing, and if we're not locked down totally from everything, I would like to get out to the farm field and stuff and do some live feeds or streams, excuse me, from out there. It would be really interesting to do with y'all. And I'd like to go in there, but I don't want to fall in the river. It doesn't look that real promising there. So, okay, thanks for joining me, and I'm going to head on to my way home. God bless y'all. See ya real. Yeah, I'm back already. I'm going to walk my bike up this way and see how close we can get to the geese. Let's see if we can get any closeness with these. Which is not unusual. These won't wait for me. Sorry. There goes some out into the lake, or river, not lake. But this is an area they like, evidently. A few seagulls up there mingling in with them. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the seagulls. They're actually really pretty birds. Pretty birds. Okay, I'm shutting it down again. Later. Check this out. I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can see this in the video. It's a burst of like rainbow with a tail, and it's ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. I know because it's not that far away from the sun, but that is awesome looking. I hope you can get that. Just awesome. My camera on here won't let me zoom, but it's pretty cool. Maybe you can see it now because it looks like it's getting brighter, but it's pretty awesome. Really like that. Atmospheric displays like that are so cool. Not rare, kind of uncommon, but anyways, just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, I'm home, and I said we'd take a look at some of the things that I found. Here's a fossil, crinoid. Let me see if this little light helps in just a minute. Yes, maybe a little bit. Come on, baby. There we go. Anyways, this is I don't know if that light helps or not. Anyways, this is a little rock that has a fossil crinoid stem in it right there, if you can see that. Oh, there it is. Okay. And so that was one small thing. Then this piece, which is a part of a cultivator or a shovel. There's still wood in the handle there. You can see a little bit of it. Actually, for a shovel, wouldn't have these holes down the sides like that. So I think it's probably part of some kind of a cultivator. Kind of neat to find there because I could have used it to dig with if I wanted to. Then there's sundry shards. This shard rim piece has decoration around the rim. And what I do with these is I'll clean them up and make a display of different old plate and tableware. This one has gold trim around the rim, as you can see. Unfortunately, not enough of it to have any maker's marks on the bottom. This flat tile, I think could have been part of flooring tile or some kind of siding. It's quite thick, but flat, no curvature to it at all, so it was not like drain pipe or something like that. It was more of I think a more practical use for like flooring tile or something of that nature. Then then we got more shards. This is this white piece, ironstone. It's a shard from a large, maybe pitcher, side of a pitcher. Again, no maker's marks. Base of a crock. I use these to build. I use these to build seams in. I used to build seams in those back in the day. Wholesale them all across the northern part of the state. It's a rim from probably that base that I just showed you. Here's another. This is a stoneware rim. It's not ironstone. It's got the glaze, that really nice shiny glaze on it. Utilitarian wear. I do not have a clue what this piece of metal was for, but it was for something. Wasn't that brilliant? It was for something. Sure. Let me just pull this stuff out of here real quick. It's a little bit easier for trying to show you. I'll do this. Holy moly. Fish line wrapped around my top bottle. Everything else in here. I'm just about ready. Okay, here we go. Let's continue on. Again, not super exciting. Piece of coal. Probably mined here in Saginaw. They mined coal here 1890s, early 1900s, and it was high quality coal that was found here. This is a rim from a brown mixing bowl, so that's kind of cool. This is just a small base from a stoneware crock, and another of the same. And here's a small piece, shard, if you will, of a glass bottle. This has no hold on a second. Okay, I hate it when a phone call interrupts what you're doing, but anyways, I guess it's one of the hazards of the day. As I was saying, I think this probably is from, the bottle would have been from the 1860s, 1870s, that era, because it doesn't have a seam going up into the lip of the rim. Then we've got, in retrospect, this is drain tile. I thought it was Bennington at first. It's just drain tile. And we have, I picked up some pieces of stone that have fossils in them. This one I will probably open up. It looks like a fossil plant here. Maybe calamite, so we'll check that out a little more later. And here is a larger piece of stone. This too is fossil bearing. It is chert, tabular chert. Indians would have loved it for making arrowheads and spearheads. But this piece got past them, and it does look like it's fossil bearing, so we'll check that out more closely. And I give up. There's another phone call coming in. Talk to y'all in a bit.